Do you feel like you have value to give, but think that your past may be hindering who you could be potentially and keep you from giving all that you can give? Do you wish you could find your voice and tap into all of the potential and all of the information that you have floating around in your head, just waiting to be able to come out and bless someone? Today, my guest, Kay Reddy, is going to help you tap into that voice using her 3P method, and you do not want to miss this. Get ready as Kay brings her message of how she used her past to propel her into her purpose and find the voice she had hidden deep inside. Let's go, girls. Are you in a new season of your life? Are you stuck and searching for clarity so you can make a career change? Do you just need the courage to switch careers? Are you ready to follow God's plan for your career? Welcome to Choose Your Next Yes. Hi, Kindred. I'm Mel, a career transition coach, mom of grown-ups, coffee lover, and God girl. I've had a lot of big life changes, and I haven't always been clear about God's plan for me. This led to stress and anxiety and a lack of clarity and courage to make a career move. I finally started listening to God's voice to find clarity and peace and stopped being scared to make a move and achieve my career transition goals. Now, my mission is to help you learn to listen to God's voice and know when to say yes to the career you've always wanted and no to everything else. Let me show you how to clarify your purpose and find courage to pursue your personal and professional goals in your midlife and beyond. Throw down your self-doubt, dust off your dreams, Kindred. It's time to reset and refine and reclaim the woman you once aspired to be. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I have a special guest for you today. It's been a little while since I've had a guest host, and I am super excited. I have Kay Reddy with us today, and Kay is a business coach. She's a speaker. She's a podcaster. She's into real estate. She wears so many hats. Welcome to the show, Kay.
Thank you so much. Hello, I'm happy to be here.
And we are super excited for you to be here. I once we connected, I was like so excited about the message that you could bring to my audience. So along with that, Kay, tell us about you. What do you do? Who are you? Who is Kay Reddy?
Yes, so as Mel said, I wear many different hats. But I think one of my most favorite hats that I wear is that I'm a grandma.
Oh,
so I
me
think
too.
that's one of my most exciting ones.
Okay, so I'm not a grandma. I'm a nana because I like Nana better. It sounds younger, but it's still the best, no matter what you're called. So,
No, yeah. So that's like probably one of my favorite titles that I love the most. And as Mel said, I do a lot of different things. I also host the TV show called The American Dream TV. So I am the host of that. But I think what's in all of that I do, I have the same focus and the same mission, which is my passion to see women succeed, to see women move their lives forward, to propel and operate in their God-given purpose and dominate in that. That's my ultimate. That's what I do.
And that's amazing because that's exactly what I want for my women. I want them to be able to get themselves in motion and like have the confidence to move forward in their new career or whatever life decisions they have. So I think you are one of the perfect people to tell us about that and how they can do that. So continue on with that.
Yes, it's an honor. It's just like, I think that as women, we tend to put everyone before us. We're nurturers by design. And I think what we do is we make ourselves available to everything and everyone, and we put ourselves on the back burner, our desires, our wants, the things that we desire to do. Because again, we do hold many different hats. And I think because of that, once we get to the point, especially when you have children, when you get to the point of being an empty nester, then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, where is my life? Who am I? What am I going to do? And so just trying to help women to figure that out before they get to the point of forced to have to do that.
Right. And that's exactly where my audience lies, my ladies that listen to the podcast. They are moving into midlife. They are becoming empty nesters or already are empty nesters. And now they have the time. It's their time to reclaim the woman that they've always aspired to be.
No, absolutely. Because we have so much value. We have so much that we could give as women. I think it's just tapping into that and saying, okay, what I have on the inside of me is of value. Because I think oftentimes, too, as women, we feel like what we have to give is not much, or people won't receive it, or people, what do I have to say, or what do I have to give? Is people even going to accept it? And so I think with that, that stems around fear of, the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. But I believe that no matter what the information it is or what your skill set is, I still believe that there is a multitude of people that you can affect right where you are.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I'm trying to get them to see. And that's what I do with this podcast as well. God gave me a voice to bring his message to them. It's not my message. It's just where I happen to be in my life. And he's given me like this courage to step out and to bring that message forward. So having that courage to do the thing that you now have the opportunity to do and be that person and find that value inside is just so important.
No, it is. And so, in that, I like to say that as women, we have power on the inside of us, and that we have to begin to tap in to be able to go within to begin to pull that power out of us. So, all of that bottled up power on the inside, sometimes we realize it's there, sometimes we don't realize it's there, but to be able to activate that, to be able to unlock that. And I think once you begin to do that, that is where you're going to find freedom. That is where you're going to find a sense of worth. That's where you're going to find, your peace and everything that you were designed to be.
Exactly. And that is one of the messages that I bring also is who is it that God designed you to be? And, we're all predetermined. Our destiny is predetermined. He knows where we're going to go. He gives us the freedom on some things on how we get there. If you're in alignment with him, your destiny, your who you are is, it's already, you already know who you are. He already made you, designed you to be this person. You just have to find her and know who she is. And sometimes we lose, we don't have that power inside of us anymore. And that comes with all of the things, all of life. We're tired. We've raised kids. We worked maybe a job that we didn't want to work, and we don't feel empowered anymore. And so I love it that you want to tell my women how to get that power back, how to activate that again.
Yes, absolutely. So I have this thing called the 3 Ps. So it's the 3 Ps to begin to identify that you have power on the inside, and then to be able to unlock that and be able to activate that. And so the first P is prayer, because I believe that when you get into a place of prayer, not only do you use prayer for asking things, but you also use prayer for direction and for guidance. And who more than God can answer that for you because he's our creator. He created us. And so having that conversation and going into prayer. And when I say prayer, a lot of people think that prayer has to be something so deep and so profound, but it doesn't. It's just merely a conversation and asking God, who have you designed me to be? Show me where my purpose is. I know that I have purpose, but if you could just show me what is my purpose? Why was I created? Because I believe there is purpose for each and every one of us. And so once you've done that, and also not only just in prayer that you're the one talking, but then have a moment of time where you're quiet and you can begin to listen so that you can hear the instructions and you can begin to hear the plan in which God has for you. So I think sometimes we forget that in this relationship, because that's what it is, that the relationship that we have with God, it's not one-sided. So we have to be able to not only communicate, but allow him to communicate back to us, which could be audible, his audible voice. It could be, through the Holy Spirit on the inside of you. It could be through dreams. It could even be through other people, but allowing that time to hear the instructions, I think is very important.
Exactly. I feel like we can't learn to hear God if we don't spend time with God, because he talks to everybody differently. And the way he talks to Kay is going to be different than the way he talks to Melinda. So I have to learn how he's speaking to me. And sometimes he does speak in dreams. And it's weird. I've only had that happen one time, and it was very recent. I had this really weird dream. The fruits of the spirit was part of that dream. And then the next morning, the devotional that I was listening to was about the fruits of the spirit. And I'm like, that is so weird, because who dreams about the fruits of the spirit? But that happened. And I always say that he brings things to me 3 times for me to know that that's what he's telling me. And it's very specific to me. And I wouldn't know that if I didn't spend time with him. And like you said, it doesn't have to be these big, elaborate prayers that are, 10, 15, 20 minutes long. No, you can pray about anything. And then once you start doing those smaller prayers and like really getting connected with him, you can really feel connected to him during that more intimate, deep prayer time to ask the question of, who am I?
No, absolutely, because it's definitely about building a relationship. And just as you said, it's all about how he speaks to you, because everyone is different. And you won't know that if you don't spend time with him in order for you to begin to recognize how he actually speaks to you. I look at it like, if you're in a relationship with someone and you never talk to them, how would you know them? You
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't know them. And so the second P is proclaim. And so proclaim means to speak out, to begin to talk. So once you know who it is that you are, who you have who you were created to be, then you have to begin to speak. So I like to say that some of the things that we do in life is voice activated, that you have to begin to speak things. You have to begin to say things, because we know that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and that we can speak and we can cause things to happen in our lives, in our situations. And so it does matter about what it is that you're saying. And so sometimes I try to be careful of the things that I say, because I know that my words have power. Exactly. And that the more that I say something, that it will begin to happen. So you have to be careful.
Speak life. Exactly. Speak life.
Yes. And so that is what that is all about. And then too, as women, we have to know that we have a voice. We have a voice, and it's much far greater than being a mom, a grandma, a wife, and all that. But we have something on the inside of us that can propel another person forward, whether it be our skill, whether it be our experience, but we have to understand that we have it on the inside of us and people are waiting for us to begin to speak out and step into who we have been called to be so that that would encourage them to become who God has created them to be. And so that would bring me to the third P, which is posture or position. So once you've prayed about it and you understand who you are and what you possess and you begin to speak it, then you have to begin to walk in it. And sometimes it can be fearful because sometimes God can show us who we are and what he has designed for us to do. And it could be frightening because we may feel like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Like this is far greater than I could have ever imagined, but God knows the plans that he has for us. And so we have to understand that he doesn't make mistakes and that it may not be for us to jump right into it. There will be a process, but what we have to know is that we have to position ourselves in a way to say, you know what? I am going to do this thing. I am going to walk my journey. I am going to go through my process. See, two people can have the same thing that they're supposed to do, but your process and their process is going to be totally different. So
exactly.
we have to begin to embrace our own process. And once you embrace it and you begin to walk in it and you begin to own it, then I think the process becomes more enjoyable.
Yes, exactly. And I've said that to my women too. It's always about the journey. It's never about the destination. Well, I mean, it is about the destination, but you will get to a destination, but that's not your landing place. You are always going to have another destination because you are always learning. You are always growing. You're always changing. And God is not going to put you in one place and leave you there forever. He's going to get you there. He's going to have you serve your purpose there, and he's going to move you on again eventually down the road. And that's true until you are in heaven with him, because when you get to be a much more mature person and you have so many life experiences, he can use you as a mentor. Like your journey is never over. And so I love that. I love that positioning and where you're at and where somebody else is and how you can help them get there and how they can help you. It's all connected.
Absolutely. And also to your listeners, this is not something that happens overnight. So it's going to take some being intentional. It's going to take some keep doing it. It's going to take even doing it even when you feel like you don't understand. It's going to take keep pushing past it even when others don't believe it, or believe in what it is that you have been called to do. You still have to move forward because I haven't always been like this. I was very shy. And I didn't even realize how God really wanted to use me or what my purpose was until here in the last 4.5 years. And I'm almost 50. And so it wasn't like I found this out early on in life. I wish I had have found it out early in life, but I just believe that it was for such a time as this.
Thank you for joining me today for part 1 of my guest interview with Kay Reddy. Come back here on Friday so you can hear part 2 of the interview and learn all about the rest of Kay's message and her story. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope God blesses you as you continue on your path toward everything he has in store for you and your life. May he bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift you up and give you peace. Bye-bye.